Hi. So we believe that the basic literacy skills like reading and writing is the foundation out of which everything else stems. So how to help adult learners with literacy? Well, a lot of the traditional classroom-based approaches are very, both often these materials are very dry, irrelevant, and not very engaging. Right. And so speaking from my personal experience, a first generation immigrant, I learned a lot of my English through watching comedy shows and reading sci-fi. And so the idea for us is how do we take natural, informal content that adults already love to watch anyway and turn them into learning opportunities.
Excellent. So we're called Curate, #CurateForAll, and we'll explain why that name came up to be. But the idea there is that we have two parts of this ecosystem. The ecosystem on one side is we have curators of content, this informal content that Carol talked about. And on the other side, we have the learners that content is to be delivered to. And so the problem we are trying to solve for is how do we direct curated content that is recommended or referred to in very specific and personalized ways to the adult education learner. That's the problem we're trying to solve for. How we're going to go about doing that? We have, again, two parts. The curation of the content, given that mobile devices are not where the resolution is not friendly enough for curation to happen at scale, we decided that the curation would happen on a web-based platform. That would also allow for annotation. So this is the whole Pandora-style ability for us to not only recognize content that is informal and fun and engaging, but also annotate it so that it can be tagged and then made relevant to the person engaging with the content when they do engage, when the learner engages with the content. And then the content itself is delivered both for recommendation by the curator and to the learner via mobile device. Again, like a Spotify or a Pandora-style delivery. So how it works is, on one side for the curation, we have a GitHub-style repository where over time we have a lot of content that is placed in that repository. And then we have an incentivized kind of gamified platform on which this curation happens. That's an example of how we designed that, at least in our heads, where Khan Academy has partnered with Bank of America, for example, in delivering financial literacy to the targeted population using Khan Academy's platform of delivery and how that is curated. Then, of course, we talked about the Spotify style annotation and recommendation to create relevance and personalization for the learner. We would limit the size so that this can be bite-sized for keeping the attention of the learner as well. Some of the resources we want to use, obviously, are analytics, content curators, app developers, and then partners in the ecosystem like literacy programs, libraries, workforce development agencies, community organizations, and some tutoring resources that exist. And so we are Curate, #CurateForAll. Yeah, Jasmine.